Hello, welcome. I'm your host Naraayannkar. Today we have Mr. Jitarth Jai Bharadwaj. He had 2 decades of journalism he had done in New Delhi. Then in 2008, he migrated to Australia. Now he started to work for SBS Radio. Now he is running his own portal, the Australia Today, and is the founder, editor in chief of the Australia Today. And recently, he had a very bad experience because he was trolled on the social media, the Twitter. Uh, the article which he wrote, I'll just read out the headline of the article. It reads, besides COVID-19, India is also fighting with vulture journalists who are spreading more panic and despair than pandemic. So he was referring to the kind of journalism the noted journalist Barkha Dutt was doing. And unfortunately, Barkha Dutt reacted to that article and he was trolled. And so this became quite a bit of controversy, and so we have Mr. Jidat with us, and he will be talking, giving his insights or reactions to whatever happened to him after this article was published. So, Jidat ji, namaskar, welcome to my show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Can you narrate what happened between you and Barkha Dutt?
Nothing much, but see, we published, I'm the founder of the Australia Today, a news portal in Australia. We are based in Melbourne. We publish content from all over the world, and emphasis is on Indian subcontinent, India, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bangladesh. These countries are important for us and our viewers and readers. We saw a story which was called about vulture journalism in India in this pandemic time. And Miss Barkha Dutt was the centerpiece of that story. And but somehow it went viral because most people around India and probably the NRIs or the diaspora, which you call Indian diaspora, they felt like that this story is right. So I received a lot of messages congratulating that we published it. I didn't write it. We have sourced it from a syndicate. So we sourced this opinion piece from the syndicate and published it. After that, Ms. Barkha Dutt started calling us right-wing trolls and said that this website was set up by some BJP IT cell or something. I wasn't even aware of that. There is something called BJP IT cell, and I don't mind somebody trolling. This is the time on social media you can't control this. I don't mind somebody writing something which is unpleasant, but from a journalist, I would like people to check facts. It's not that easy. You go to our page, theaustraliatoday.com.au, or you follow us, the Oz Today on Twitter. You click the link, you check. There is a place called About Us, and you will see my name right there. You will see our reporter's name from Afghanistan, from Bangladesh, from Nepal, from Sri Lanka. You'll see everything about us. So if they do have audacity of not checking the facts and then falsely accusing any media outlet of being fake or something, then that's outrageous, And then when I replied to her that I wrote my reply, Miss Dutt, that we are an Australian news portal. As you work, she has worked 25 years in mainstream media, and then now she's running her own. So, do I call her Mojo a fake peddling machine? I don't. She's doing her work. I'm doing my work. So we both are doing our work the way we feel it is right, So she felt very offended with our reply, and then she unleashed the troll army on her. Her friends, supposedly her friends, came to rescue her and attacked her left, right, and center. All the trolls who can be really are dangerous. They started putting whatever information they could find on me, my personal, my family's information. We started on our office phone. We started getting threat calls. We'll fix you. We know where you are, and all this crap happening around. So I don't know. I should be concerned. Yes, I'm concerned, and I have put in complaint with Australia's digital forums. I have put cyberbullying complaint also. So that's what I could do in Australia. But because these people, most of them are sitting in India, I suppose. I don't know where they're sitting. They can be anywhere. But Miss Dutt is in India, so she understands what does it mean for putting the family information or your personal information on Twitter or other social media platforms. It's ridiculous, and it shouldn't be done like this. If you don't like a piece which we have written, write another one. I mean, ours is a very democratic portal. If you want to write an opinion piece, send us a rebuttal if you want to. I'll publish that. But she didn't do so. She just this is called gaslighting. You know what is gaslighting? If they can't answer you, they will try to tarnish your reputation. That's what they do. They have no other means. If you have comments, do come debate with us. I openly challenge her, come and debate with us about her point of view and listen to our point of view. So that is the fair way of doing it. This is what I have learned, but probably other people might have learned differently.
See, actually, even government of India, if you see, they have given a detailed guidelines how even the media has to report. So when we see Barkha Dutt sitting in a Smashan and portraying a very grim situation, she's sending out the pictures of burning corpses. This is also not allowed actually. There is a guideline, but unfortunately, it doesn't have any teeth in it. But and here in India, many people are not liking this kind of journalism. It is labeled as vulture journalism. Now, my question is, Jitarth Ji, that this is the backlash they are getting in India. But now I want to know how the Indian diaspora in Australia, when they see this kind of journalism as portrayed by Barkha Dutt, so how they are reacting in Australia, it will be very interesting to know this.
See, I can't comment on what Barkha Dutt should report and what pictures she should do and whatever she want to do. I don't care. It's up to her what she want to report. But as a journalist myself and my team and other people, we have a right to critically analyze that. And we have a right to comment on that, how we feel about it. So when she has her freedom of reporting the way she wants to, we have a freedom of expressing ourselves the way we want to. That's what we did. And I have received enormous number of mails and calls telling me that this is not done. I mean, not only about Barkha Dutt. We decided to publish that opinion piece because of a lot of response from a diaspora here in Australia and worldwide saying to us that this is not done. Why are they showing the funeral pyre pictures? Every time you open any channel, CBS, BBC, CNN, or ABC in Australia, or Channel 9, or any channel whatsoever, you see funeral pyre pictures or footage of that. That is not COVID coverage. That is absolutely not COVID coverage. You report about hospital bed shortage. You report about gas shortage. You report about apathy of government or administration. That is reporting about COVID-19. You report about how people are coping or not coping about it. That is COVID-19 reporting. But you showing me funeral pyres day in and day out is not COVID-19 reporting. That is not. And we will counter it. We will expose people who are trying to engage in that manner and just putting people's mental health at risk. We will do 2 more pieces. We are in process of doing 2 more pieces, and we will publish them soon to expose these people.
This is, this step you have taken as a media person, or the media, if you have others also in your friend circle. But what about on the ground level, like common citizens? What they are speaking about this kind of journalism? The common people which you meet in Australia, especially, even the Australians, what they feel, because I believe Australia has a very stringent, laws that they are not allowed to cover such, burning of corpses or dead bodies, portrayal. Uh, they are not allowed. There is a very stringent law which India doesn't have. But at the ground level, the two questions are there in this about the law which I am speaking in Australia, and what at the ground level common people are reacting to this kind of journalism.
They are definitely very angry, very angry. They are very upset. And in all the conversations I have had and my team has had, people are telling us, can you please do something about it? So we have our limitations as journalists, our media outlets. What we can do, we can write about it and make awareness among the Australian media community. Also, I'm talking to Melbourne Press Club also, that this is not the right way of covering it. This is just not right. So I hope something we can do in terms of Australian media here. People, one person wrote me that I could not sleep whole night after watching 9 o'clock news just because my parents and relatives are suffering. His parents and a couple of relatives turned COVID positive. He could not sleep whole night because they were so worried about seeing all those funeral pyres. This is the sentiment of community here in Australia. So I don't know if I can put it in any stronger words, that people are dismayed. They are just angry about the kind of coverage they are doing. And of course, this is a social media time. They're comparing it with European coverage or American coverage or anywhere else in the world. Why only? Because probably the white world sometimes is fascinated with Hindu rituals and funeral pyres and all those. The one comment which I heard on US television was, oh, they're now burning their corpse. So they don't even understand that this is our ritual, this is our sacred ritual of having funeral pyres. And is absolutely not done, absolutely wrong. And we will stand just to correct the nature of narrative, what these people are creating in the minds, and in the long run, after 10 years, 5 years, when you will see the pictures or archives, you will just find the funeral pictures. Was that a COVID coverage? No, it wasn't. Talk to the doctor, psychiatrists. They are telling you it is creating a lot of stress to people. Mental health is at risk. So, does journalists have some responsibility or not?
It has. Yeah, it has. Go on, go on.
Well, that's what I wanted to say. Look, I'll ask everyone, please follow us, theaustraliatoday.com.au. We are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, The Australia Today. You can type and follow us. Do make your voice known. We are happy to incorporate opinion pieces. Please write to us. Admin at theaustraliatoday.com.au. We'll be taking your response.
Yeah. Before we could wind up, in couple of minutes or 5 minutes, see what is happening, Jitarth ji, is that uh, we as Indians we have been given out. They are dishing the people like Barkha Dutt and others. They are dishing out all fake news. They are sensationalizing the COVID coverage. So here also among Indians there is a sense of outrage against these type of journalists. Leading the pack is Barkha and Rajdeep Sardesai. You must have seen how he faked during this fake farmers protest and what happened on January 26th. We all know. So there is a sense of outrage in India, and when they write in Indian media as well, they were not getting that kind of respect or the tag, which the credibility tag was missing. So they started to write in Washington Post and other garbage international media, and there was no there was no backlash in international forum. But talking about Australia today, I think this was the first time Barkha Dutt and the gang, would have been surprised over this element which you have, shows this story and exposed Barkha Dutt on the international platform. So that is worrying Barkha Dutt or what? Therefore, they ganged up and they are trying to troll you. What has happened? Are they worried about the international credibility? Do you think that?
Uh, See, I'm not sure what has worried her, but I'm sure about the fact that it has made an impact. Rajdeep Sardesai, I don't want to talk about because he was once my boss in TV18. So I don't know what to say, but I have learned a lot from Rajdeep technically. But right now, I don't know what's going on there. Haven't talked to him for long, but I would definitely say about Burqa that yes, she probably was worried that n- people from Australia, journalists from Australia can raise their voice and try and expose these people, and that was concerning for her. That is for sure. That's what we feel. That's why the kind of attack they did on us was just because they want to polish their so-called image in the Western media.
So one last question before we wind up, so how should, you are doing your bit, you're writing, you're just reacting to her pieces or the kind of reporting through your media platform. But what would be your suggestion on the larger scale for the citizens of India or the diaspora, spread out in US, Europe, and Australia? How the Indian diaspora or Hindu diaspora should tackle these kind of vulture journalists like Barkha Dutt? How we have to do that?
Oh, see, I must tell you one thing that raising your voice is very important. Do you please go to Twitter right now and see what's happening in London right in front of BBC's office. Shame on BBC is being chanted there in front of multiple offices of BBC because of their coverage of what's happening in Middle East. So, unless and until this Hindu or Indian diaspora you're talking about, they raise their voice and their concerns loud and clear, we won't be able to stop what's going on. So the narrative setting by these so-called celebrity journalists has to stop, and no one can stop it unless and until people start raising their voice.
Just one question, out of I want to understand. Now, in India, the problem with some of the journalists is, they have the secular. I don't call secular this dispensation. This secular kind of journalists, they don't speak out, but in their houses, and if they come and meet me or somebody else, they will be talking the line what you are talking about. But on public platform, which is very important, for example, in social media, it is very important to speak on those platforms so that the opinion building takes place in a very formidable way. But these secular journalists, they keep quiet. They say that it is not our work. Our work is to be neutral. Neutralism. That is a very debatable and very questionable. There is no such kind of neutrality, because you yourself is the voter, so you cannot be a neutral politically or anything else. This is a problem in India. But how is it in Australia? I'm talking of media fraternity. I'm talking of Indian media fraternity working. How is the scenario there? Are they
See,
the same,
more or
or
less.
you have the mix of journalists also in Australia?
See, more or less, at least I consider myself as a secular person. I do not discriminate between any religious or political leaning or anything like that. I haven't learned it the way journalism I have learned it, that it has to be objective, fact based. That's about it. And way it be about any community, any religion, I'll raise as strongly as I'm doing right now for whatever Miss Barkha Dutt is saying. Being secular does not mean that you should not raise the questions. I consider myself to be very secular, and I consider all caste, race, religion, everyone in same stream. And in Australia, I see that most journalists are they do fact-based work, because the kind of rules regulation we have, they don't just write whatever they feel like or something. The laws are very strong in terms of defamation. You just can't say anything about somebody. So that way, Australia is very good. Yes, but we do have here left leaning or right leaning or whatever leaning people. Yes, there are leanings in terms of writings, but that's the way world is.
Jitarth ji, I salute you, because you have certainly see India from since I will tell you 2012. We have been, countering this kind of narrative with their sending. You're apolitical maybe, but let me be very clear. I am not I am totally political, and because to to save our nation is important, and whichever party is trying to toe the line of nationalism should be supported. That is my personal view. Now, we have been doing this, and these sort of journalists like Barkha Dutt and others, they were going scot free on the international forum, international platforms. Now you have taken up, and I believe and I hope, I pray that journalists like you all over the globe, they also start countering the fake narrative or the sensationalization the vulture journalists are doing. So I really salute you, sir, for doing this, and I hope you will continue to do this fact-based reporting and journalism. That is what you have mentioned. So I'm very much honored to have you in my very small viewership. I believe uh, after this uh, after this interview, some more followers. I'm getting followers, but I don't know what YouTube is up to, because let me be very much frank on this. I'll make it public. When I had only 20 viewers, I was getting 1.2 thousand or something. Now I have 124. Somebody, intimidated me on social platform. After that, the viewership has been restricted. I have that sense. So I humbly request you to share this video in your platform. That is my humble request. I am not worried about the viewership. I know it is reaching out to people, but I am interested in some more followers come to my channel, so that they can spread the message. So, Jitarth, I'll be coming to you because the Indian diaspora is very vocal in Australia, and I'll be coming back to you whenever the issues are coming out. Recently, you had spoken about the Hindu phobia when the Indian cricketers were there. That was a controversy. I had seen your with Mr. Rohit, if I'm correct. You had been in chat with on YouTube. So thank you, Jitarth. God bless you. Jai Hind, Vande Matram.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.